Hello, welcome to the Self Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 6 Structure and Function. And our topic is the functionalism of Malinowski. By comparison to Radcliffe Brown, it is Malinowski who claims the creation of a separate school, the functional school. The aim of functional analysis for him is to arrive at explanation of anthropological facts at all levels of development by their function, by the part they play within the integral system of culture. He assumes that in every civilization, every custom, material object, ideas and beliefs fulfill some vital function, have some task to accomplish, represent an indispensable fact within a working whole. Whereas Radcliffe Brown begins with society and its necessary conditions of existence, Malinowski's starting point is the individual who has a set of basic needs that must be satisfied for its survival. It is because of the importance of the Malinowski gives the individual that the term psychological functionalism is reserved for him. In comparison to Radcliffe Brown's approach, which is called sociological functionalism because this society is the key concept. Malinowski's approach distinguishes between three levels: the biological, the social structural, and the symbolic. Each of these levels has a set of needs that must be satisfied for the survival of the individual. It is on his survival that the survival of larger entities such as group, communities, societies is dependent. Malinowski proposes that these three levels constitute a hierarchy. At the bottom is placed the biological system, followed next by the social structure, and finally by the symbolic system. The way in which needs at one level are fulfilled will affect the way in which they will be fulfilled at subsequent levels. The most basic needs are the biological, but this does not imply any kind of reductionism because each level constitutes its distinct properties and needs, and from the interrelationship of different levels that culture emerges as an integrated whole. Culture is the kernel of Malinowski's approach. It is uniquely human, for it is not found to exist among subhumans. Comprising all those things, material and non-material, that human beings have made right from the time they got separated from their simian ancestors, culture has been the instrument that satisfies the biological needs of human beings. It is a need serving and need fulfilling system. Because of this role of culture in satisfying biological needs, that Malinowski functionalism is also known as biocultural functionalism. One more difference between the Radcliffe Brown and Malinowski may be noted here. A concept fundamental to Malinowski, The concept of culture is a mere epiphenomena, secondary and incidental for Radcliffe Brown. He believes that the study of social structure, which for him is an observable entity, encompasses the study of culture. Therefore, there is no need to have a separate field to study culture. Further, whilst social structure is concerned all about observations, what anthropologists see and hear about the individual people's culture is in the minds of people, not amenable to observation in the same way as social structure is. Radcliffe Brown wants to make social anthropology a branch of natural science, which would be possible when there is an empirical, investigable subject matter. The basis of Malinowski's approach is a theory of vital sequences, which has a biological foundation and is incorporated into all societies. These sequences number 11, each composed of an impulse as associated psychological act and a satisfaction which results from that act. For example, impulse is drive to breathe, grasping for air, and act is intake of oxygen, and satisfaction is elimination of CO2 in tissues, satiation, quenching. The second one is hunger. Impulse is hunger, indigestion of food is the act, and satisfaction is quenching. The third one is thirst. Impulse, act is absorption of liquid, and satisfaction is dumescence. The fourth one is sex, appetite, act is conjunction, satisfaction is restoration of muscular and nervous energy. The fifth one is fatigue, act is rest, and satisfaction of fatigue. Sixth one is restlessness, act is activity, satisfaction is awakening with a restored energy. Seventh one is somnolence, act is sleep, removal of tension, and abdominal relaxation is the satisfaction. Eighth is bladder pressure, the act is micturition, and satisfaction is relaxation. Ninth impulse is colonal pressure, act is defection, and satisfaction is return to normal state. The 10th impulse is fright, the act is escape from danger. The 11th and last impulse is pain, act is avoidance by effective act. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the self-learning podcast.